espousing the concept of multiculturalism, he is giving a free hand to religious institutes and organized religious industries to legally establish religious schools. The ideological banner of its party is clearly visible and it's recognizable from far. His move will create an absolute social, legal, intellectual, emotional, geographical, and civil apartheid in Ontario based on distinction of ethnicity and religion. If it's not, you tell me. No one can deny that children grow in family, in society according to established customs and traditions and religion. They automatically learn to accept these ideas and customs as the norm of the life. To label them as Islamic, Jewish, Catholic, Hindu, and then legally place them under religious dogmas and tradition, the outcome of such a situation will be an obvious. It is a clear violation of children's rights. Let's face it, instead of eliminating discriminations and prejudice, the Tory and his party is paving the path for more segregation, isolation, discriminations, and prejudice. And deny them opportunity to associate with others means preventing the children and their family from achievement of the modern society. The fact is that the Ontario government is facing a dilemma. Since the government has already permitted the Catholic organizations to expand to reach into both English and French speaking, Tory and his party decided to give away to other organized religious and institutions that are demanding the same liberties. What is being ignored purposely is the principle of the rights of the child and the fact that religion is the private matter of the parents and should not be affected the child's civil rights. The condition of defending any form of freedom for child to experience life, the condition to protect immunity of body and mind of the child against any violation, is to prevent the religious and institutes having any upper hand on the rights of the child. The state should, the government should take its role, and that is to defend the universe and legal human rights of the child, most certainly establishing one secular school system for all children under the age of 18 will secure these rights. Thank you. And now we have Dr. Robert Bachman. Dr. Robert Bachman. He is a medical oncologist and at Princess Margaret Hospital and the professor of Department of Medicine at University of Toronto. He's the author of several books and recipients of Fleming Medal of the Royal Canadian Institute for Advancements of Science. In 1994, he was made Canadian Humanist of the Year. Please welcome Dr. Bachman.
Thank you, Homa. I'm going to be very, very brief because I think this is very simple. One of the really outstanding features of our country is the separation of church and state. Separating what somebody believes personally from how they behave and how our society behaves. And I think that any attempt to undermine that separation of church and state is a real problem. I am not in favor of funding of any school system by any particular religion, but using public monies to fund more of them is a real problem. It's attacking what I think is one of the unique and greatest features of Canadian society. I think it's extremely important that we keep apart and keep apart by not publicly funding church and state. Just like the United Nations, which is the greatest secular organization on this planet, it, as it were, embraces and allows and tolerates all religions, but does not endorse any one. And we here are in danger of attempting to endorse lots. I would ask us all to be wary of this potential undermining. Thank you very much indeed.
Now we have El Karud Enalo, the president of Halton Pale Humanist Community, a social and political activist, a writer, a leader figure of a campaign against Sharia Court in Canada. Please welcome Elka. And believe me, without Elka, none of our literature would be edited. Thank you.
I am absolutely horrified that the Ontario Conservative Party would even contemplate using public funds to support faith-based schools. I could talk for hours about what's wrong with this proposal. Things such as, what will be the state of the public school system in 5 years after so much money is siphoned off for private schools? Or, how many community public schools will be closed? Or, how do we define faith-based? What are religions? And what are sects? And what are cults? And will the humanists of Ontario get funding for private schools? Will girls and boys all be offered the same curricula? And much, much more. But I will restrict myself to just these few following comments. No one denies that parents have the legal right to raise their children as members of a specific religion. That, however, is a far cry from demanding publicly funded schools to serve them in isolation from others. If it is true that religions require their own publicly funded schools in order to function effectively, then soon we will hear the same demands made of the healthcare system, since some religions do not allow doctors to see unclothed patients of the opposite sex. Some religions forbid abortion as an option. Some religions prohibit life-saving actions like blood transfusions. We have to look at our education system as well as other parts of our society as an interrelated whole. To say that we are a secular society that encompasses a secular school system does not mean that we are an anti-religion society. It means that we make public decisions without reference to religion. If our children are divided into faith-based schools, there is a very strong probability that they will develop a we-they dichotomy. There will be us and the others. In a single secular public school system, children won't just read about other cultures, religions, and points of view. Indeed, their classmates will be from those groups. They will learn to understand and to empathize with each other. They will truly be friends. They will all be us, Canadians. A single secular public school system would emphasize our similarities. Children would not only understand that we are all Canadians, but they would see that our similarities outweigh our differences. It is only by direct daily contact in normal everyday experiences